Growing up, I always felt like the Disney Channel was like the religious friend of the group. Like, they're cool. They could be edgy sometimes, but most of the times I feel like they'll cry you put on Family Guy. But once every year, Disney Channel will get their morals and throw out the window and do this thing called Monstober. It's a month-long event where they'll do Halloween-related episodes of shows or songs or especially movies. And this shit started way back in 2005, which meant I was too young to experience it, but I imagine that's what 90s babies grew up watching. And while this could be written off as another kid channel doing some scariest things, Monstober was different. This wasn't something that just happened, it's something you waited for. If you didn't grow up watching Disney Channel, then you must think I'm overhyping it. But if you grew up watching Disney Channel, then you know what I'm talking about. Disney Channel is, again, the most family-safe family channel on cable, which is not a bad thing, but it's very not appealing to kids. I mean, I grew up watching Disney Channel, but I'd rather choose Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network because they were a lot more edgier. And so when you don't have substance, what do you have? Personality. Throughout the month of October, they'll play some scary-ish but classic movies. Even though it's already old, Halloween Town was a Disney Channel original movie all the way back in 1998, and even now they're still showing reruns of the movie and its sequels. I don't know if that's a good thing. They had under wraps Hocus Pocus, Monster Inc., Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, my favorite Disney Halloween movie. But wait, I have something to say. I'm lying. All these movies didn't air on Monstober. Instead, they aired on Hauntoberfest, the original version of Monstober. You see, over the years that it's been on the air, it has been having these different names and different themes throughout. Firstly, they had their original Hauntoberfest. That's where I imagine a lot of 90s kids grew up watching Halloween movies. They aired all the movies I listed, plus they premiered Halloween Town, Return to Halloween Town. I read that in my history book. The next rebranding was called Wiztober. Sure. I have no idea why they called it that. Well, I do. They aired The Muppets Wizard of Oz. That's a real thing. They primarily called it Wiztober because of the Wizards of Waverly Place having this thing called Wizards of Waverly Place Sundays. Why Sundays, not Wednesdays? I don't know. They also had Wiznormous Fridays, airing new episodes of Brian O'Brien, The Sweet Life of Dick, and Phineas and Ferb. And while that's all cool and dandy and stuff, I didn't grow up with them. I grew up with Monstober and all the Halloween episodes that it brought over. There was this episode of Dog Was a Blog that I remember fondly. The main plot of that episode is that they want to host a Halloween party and they need Avery to do it because she's a master planner. Who cares about that? No one cares about that. Instead, they had a side plot with Stan, the talking dog in the show, and how he wants to get a costume so he can hide his appearance and talk to the dad and mom of the family. Roll with it, just roll with it. And he does get a costume that hides his appearance, and he does talk to the dad, which is a little heartwarming. But then he talks to the mom separately. And the running joke throughout the whole show was that the mom hates dogs. And so this guy's not as a dog. Stan asked her why, and in this very episode, they actually go pretty deep into why she hates dogs. It's very sad actually, and it's very, I guess, emotional. I didn't cry. I didn't cry.
My sister, my parents weren't around that much, and I had no friends. And then one day this dog followed me home from school. I named him Rascal, and he became my best friend. And then one day, he just ran away. And I was alone again. I've never liked dogs since then.
But in this very short conversation in this episode, they got really deep into her character, and they introduced so much about her character that was never introduced in any other episodes. And you might argue that's not Monstober's, doing. Either way, they're probably gonna release that episode, Monstober or not. But what I think is important about Monstober is that it's not about what it gives you, it's about the experience of watching what it gives you. I could watch Halloween Town whenever I want, but when it's accompanied by these advertisements that are spooky and scary and stuff, it really helps make it more memorable and more nostalgic. It's about grabbing snacks and watching the horror episode of Jessie, watching China McClain's new song, Calling All the Monsters, which is an actual fucking hit, and I'll debate anyone who says it's not. Or it's about catching Dipper's new episode of The Guide to the Unexplainable. It's all these memories that it gave you. But that begs the question, what happened to Monstober? I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's still going, and it's still going strong. The whole reason why I remember this whole thing was because I saw an advertisement for a remake of Under Wraps, which used the song from Uncharted that completely broke me.
Gone. You gotta stick with us, Harold. It's not safe to run off.
point I'm trying to make is that it's still here and it's still going, and I really do hope that it keeps going. Growing up, I didn't know how to use Netflix, so a lot of movies that I'll watch were on TV, and Monstober gave me a way to watch horror movies without the horror, because as a kid I was a pussy. I still am, but I hope the next generation of kids are able to experience the same experiences that we all had growing up, and I really do hope that Monstober stays on air for as long as it can until it doesn't. Thanks for watching this video. I'll see you guys next time. Just keep an eye out.